Assalamu alaikum. How is everybody doing today? May peace and blessings of God be upon you. Okay, there's three things that I want to talk to you about today, and the number one thing is God. The second thing I want to do and talk to you about is the message of the prophets. And then I want to talk about God's gifts and our abilities. Now, when we talk about God, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share what I know about God with you. Is that God is all knowing, that He's all powerful, all seeing, all hearing, the wise, the source of all wisdom, the source of all truth, the source of all justice, of all good, of all things. Everything that was created by Him, and even even the bad. I mean, you can't say that God was beginning and He is end, and everything in between came from Him. You got to say that somewhere down the road, something that God made went bad. So this is we need to use logic when we're thinking about God. It's the source of all life, the source of all existence. So before the Big Bang, something caused the Big Bang. There had to have been something to go bang. So these people who don't believe in God, their science is actually starting to uh, prove the existence of God. There's so much scientific proof in Islam for God's existence. Like, we need to catch up with the times, because God is real. People always try to make God out to be like Santa Claus, and that's the problem with the most of the believers who say that they're believers, is that I think a lot of us approach God like with this child Santa Claus mentality that, well, it'd be nice if it was real, and just in case it is, I'm going to go to church, or I'm going to, read this book once in a while, or we don't take our faith in God seriously. But when we really study, and when we really and find out and figure out that God is most definitely real, and we see the work of God in our lives, whether He bestows that blessings upon us, and shows us that things aren't just always coincidence, that things happen in fact for a reason. And if you really seek it out, you'll start seeing signs, and you have to be aware of these signs. So God is omnipresent. This is another quality about God that I know, is that He's omnipresent, which means He's everywhere. It's God is not something that you can fit into one little set area. He's existent totality everywhere. God is here with me, He's there with you, and He's in between us right now. So He is everywhere, and there's good and there's evil, and there's angels and there's jinn. This is not something that's hokey or nothing like that. The God that I know is able to do all things. He forgives who He wishes to forgive. He has the ability to love whoever He wants, to leave whoever He wants behind, but He won't leave someone behind unless they just refuse. He makes it available. If someone refuses God, they just reject the truth. They won't get out of their own ego and out of their own perceptions of life and what they've learned in this world to see the truth of God. So they reject the truth of God, and they never find a path. God has provided so many different ways for you to get in tune with Him, for you to see that things aren't just coincidence. But there's only one true way to please God, and that is through submission and the meditation of your heart. Okay, so this is what I know God as. God is not a man. God can't be tempted. God, and by the way, that's from the Bible. God is the one who sent Jesus Christ, who Jesus Christ said was greater than He. He's the one Jesus Christ prayed to. God is the one who Jesus Christ praised. This is my opinion. This is my outlook on the scriptures. And in fact, in the Quran, as a Muslim, I became a Muslim after being a Christian. And in the Quran, it states that, Jesus is Jesus was born a virgin birth, that he came as the anointed one. We do believe that he's the Messiah, but we do not say that he's God. We don't say that. We have some different outlooks and some different things, but that's because it was a final revelation. We believe that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him and his posterity, that he was the seventh seal. And Muhammad came through the line of Ishmael, which is Abraham's first son. And we say that we follow the religion of Abraham. That is very specific in the Quran, that God sent through Gabriel, the angel of God, to Muhammad, a 40-year-old man, or I believe he was 40 years old. May God forgive me if I'm wrong, mistaken, but because no one's worse than someone who knowingly tells lies against God. That's another thing that the Muslims are real emphatic about. But anyway, we say that we follow the religion of Abraham. It's actually said that in the Quran. Those who argue with you about these matters, say they try to bring you back to their way of worship and say, nay, we're Muslims. We follow the religion of Abraham, and he was not of the idol worshippers or the idolaters. And this Psalms 47 in the Bible, if you go through there and you pay attention to the emphasis that David puts in there in that book, you'll see the way that you're supposed to be with God, our Creator. And in the Bible, Jesus says the same things. All the messengers all said the same things, that God is one, that you should love him with all your heart and with all your soul. And they all said to love the man, they all said to believe in the one true God and to love the neighbor as thy love thyself. Muhammad also taught that. Muhammad taught that there was only one God, that he's not a statue. That was, the things that you hear on the news and that you hear people say, or that you hear certain religious bigots say, these people, they reject the truth, because the truth is that Muslims are not idol worshippers. They don't worship some foreign moon god. They don't worship anything other than the creator of the heavens and the earth. That's it. They don't even bow to Muhammad. They don't worship Muhammad. They don't, as far as I know, most Muslims do not celebrate the birthdays of Muhammad or any other prophets. They worship nothing, celebrate nothing, praise nothing but God himself and what he, his power and his glory. And we submit, we work very hard and emphatically to try and relieve ourselves from sins of this world. We try to be modest. We lower our gaze when we're around women, men of understanding know that this prevents the thoughts, and because human beings, they work like that. When they see a woman, they're going to think immoral, because man is man. We're filthy without the guidance of God. So if you don't maliciously stare at a woman, you're not going to be thinking about, wanting to get in her pants and, all this, man, Allah forgive me. But this is reality of these things. You have to use logic and reason. So why do we lower our gaze? Because, well, for one, it's respectful, because you don't want someone staring at your mother with all, kinds of sex eyes, right? So you respect women. Women, we believe that all man came from one man and one woman, Adam and Eve. So we respect women. These are our mothers and our grandmothers and our sisters and our daughters. So we respect all women the same way that we would respect our own wives and our own daughters and our mothers and grandmothers, because you love people like you want them to love you. So don't believe propaganda and don't believe ignorance that you hear, because the definition of ignorance is speaking on a matter that you have no understanding of. And I almost guarantee you that if you ask people, what is Islam? The ones who are propagating this malicious, fictitious assault on the principles and the morals of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and the religious bigots, the few who talk about it, because most won't speak about it because they know better, because they know that they don't want them kind of problems. But we don't hate Christians, we don't hate Jews. Real Muslims know that we're to respect the people of the book, that they are from God as well. Things have been changed, things that have been rearranged, and they are from God. So we do respect them. We do not force anybody to become a Muslim. We don't force nobody to become a Muslim because we know and we're taught that only God makes a Muslim. Only God can make someone surrender and submit. You know, that's not something that a man can force on nobody. And nobody has ever done that in Islam. And Muhammad didn't do that in Islam. Peace and blessings be upon him. Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, he won battles of the heart. People believed in the message. You know, when Muhammad came, he gave women rights. He preached equality. He preached justice, no oppression. He preached the one God. He took the idols out of the Kaaba, which was built by Abraham. You know, these are things that people just don't know about this culture, that don't know about this beautiful way of life. That's what Islam is it's not a religion, it's a way of life. It's a way of connecting and getting to know the creator. You know, it's a way of reaching a fulfillment in your body that you wouldn't be able to reach without coming and understanding. And I study the Bible now more than I did before I became a Muslim. And I also read the Quran, you know, and it's a lot different when you come out of the illusion of the world and the propaganda and all of the ignorance and stupidity that you have with people. I love Christians, and I'm not a person who likes to go around and ruin people's faith or have religious debates. I love anybody who loves me, and that's how I feel about it. If you're interested in finding out about Islam, that's beautiful. I will offer that to you. I will give you that opportunity. But if you say that you believe your way and I believe my way and that we serve the same God and that we can strive forward together, then I have no problems with that because that's what we're told to do as well. That we're never to force anybody our way on nothing. And with the people of the scripture, we say, "O people of the scripture, let us come together between you and us that on common terms that we worship and exalt none but the one true God of the creator of the heavens and the earth, and strive together for good deeds." And anybody who tells you otherwise is either misinformed or they're just, you know, it is what it is. Allah will deal with people like this that like to cause separation and division and fitna and drama and make their religion make their religion a form of arrogance and pride. Because you know as well as I do that the God, the Creator, does not like pride and arrogance. So anybody who's like a racist or any form of bigotry or any form of pride or any form of arrogance, these things are not good. You know, all the messengers taught about these things. So we know what's right and what's wrong. We only wrong ourselves. Let's all get closer to our God, our Creator. I love you all for the sake of the Creator of the heavens and the earth, whom I call Allah. Peace and blessings be upon you.